happy. They're all saved. Everyone's back together. The sailing. Then the Going Merry literally falls apart, breaks in half. So they have to do a barrel at sea for the Going Merry. They let it on fire and it actually starts talking to them. And God, that scene gets me every time. The tears that come down. I can't watch that without just a little manly tear. So anyways, the Going Merry is literally burned to death. But now Frankie, who turns out to be a good guy, uses the wood he bought, along with his old pal Iceberg. They build a new ship for the Straw Hat Pirates, the Thousand Sunny. A much bigger, much more powerful, much more all-around cool ship. I still like the Going Merry a little bit more, though. Anyways, after some convincing from the Straw Hats, Frankie joins the Straw Hat crew as their shipwright, and Usopp rejoins the crew as well after a tear-filled reunion. Everyone's happy. The Straw Hats are back together. Woohoo! We're going to Fishman Island! Except not. Because on the way to Fishman Island, the crew is intercepted by Thriller Bark, a traveling island, basically, that is being controlled by the evil warlord Gecko Maria, who has the power to steal people's shadows and put them in other cadavers and use them as his own army. So after the Straw Hats do that, they meet a living skeleton named Brook, mysterious guy, but assorted with an afro. I can appreciate that. So the Straw Hats, a few of them get their shadows stolen, Luffy included, and so they have to go fighting their way through Thriller Bark to get their shadows back and save all the people that Gecko Maria has stolen shadows from. Eventually, Luffy goes into nightmare mode where he sucks in a bunch of shadows. They fight a literal giant guy. They beat up Gecko Maria. Everyone gets their shadows back. Everyone's happy except, oh no, another warlord of the sea, Kuma, a giant bear guy, comes and he's like, well, y'all are pretty much beat up, so I'm going to kill Luffy right here, right now. And Zoro's like, hell no, that ain't going to happen. So Zoro and Sanji beat each other up. Well, Zoro knocks out Sanji, and Zoro's like, alright, you can kill me instead of Luffy. So Kuma takes all of the damage that Luffy took during that fight out of Luffy's body and says, alright, you can take this, you're probably going to die. Well, Zoro takes it, gets just horribly damaged, but he's still alive. He's bloodied and knocked out for the time being, but he is alive. The crew is happy, and then Brook decides to join the crew, and guess what? Brook just happened to be the pirates that Laboon, many years ago, was waiting for. So, Brook joins the crew in hope of going through the rest of the Grand Line, finding Laboon, but also while serving Luffy. Oh, alright. So, the crew is finally on their way to the Red Line, which is the halfway point to the Grand Line, and there's only two ways to go through the Red Line. There's up, which goes through the Mary Jo. That's my dog having a little coughing attack. You can go up through the Mary Jo, which is literally like the Navy headquarters, so you can't do that. Or you can go underneath the mountain through Fishman Island, which is the cruise thing. So after some shenanigans with a guy that looks like Sanji's wanted poster, the crews end up at Sabadi Archipelago, where the crew can get their ship coded to go underneath the water. But while they're there, they happen to get in some trouble with a auction house where they're selling literal slaves and celestial dragons, which are basically like just kings and queens of the One Piece world. And if you touch them, you're screwed. So, one of the Celestial Dragons tries to kill one of Luffy's fishmen friends, so Luffy punches him, and then all hell breaks loose. We also learn about the Supernovas, which are a total 11 rookie pirates, all with a bounty of over 100,000, Luffy and Zoro included. We meet people like Law, Kid, Scratchman Apu, Basil Hawkins, X-Drake, Jewelry Bonnie, Rouge, and I'm sure I'm Killer. I'm sure I'm missing a couple, but they're basically all notorious pirates that become pretty important later on. So, all hell's breaking loose. There's a bunch of pacifistas, which are robots based after Kuma, on the island trying to kill the Straw Hats. Kizaru, one of the 3 Navy admirals, comes. And so the Straw Hats are like, alright, let's get out of here. We'll meet back. Everyone run for their lives. We'll meet back here in 3 days. But then all of a sudden, the real Kuma shows up, and he starts spreading with the Straw Hats. He starts literally shooting them across like the sea to different locations, and the Straw Hats at that point are literally defeated. We don't see them together for a while. Luffy ends up on the island called Amazon Lily, which is an island run with nothing but women, and the leader is Boa Hancock, who's another one of the 7 warlords of the sea. After a little disagreement and Luffy fighting her sisters, Boa Hancock falls in love with Luffy and decides to let him stay on the island. It's while he's there that he finds out that his brother Ace, after a battle with Blackbeard, is in the big prison Impel Down waiting his execution. Uh-oh. So Luffy's like, no, I'm going to save my brother. Let's go to Impel Down. It's a notorious prison. Only one person's ever broken out before. I'm gonna say Ace. So Boa Hancock helps Luffy break into Impel Down, and Luffy goes down his way through it, and he meets a lot of different pirates from his past: Buggy, Bon Clay, Daz Bones, Crocodile, and he finally ends up at the bottom level, and he meets Jinbei, one of the warlords of the sea, who didn't want to do his job, so he's in the bottom level. Luffy helps break out. Finds out he's too late. Ace is already gone. Ace is on his way to execution. So Luffy, with all the people he just found, goes back up the tower of Impel Down and breaks out. So now they're on their way to Marine headquarters, where they're going to go save Ace. So at the same time, Ace's pirate crew, the Whitebeard Pirates, who are Whitebeard is one of the 4 Yonko, which is like one of the 4 emperors, like the biggest, baddest pirates in the world. So Whitebeard's crew is fighting the army, the Marines. Luffy's gang of prisoners show up. So there's everything's going on. It's called the Paramount War. It's a giant battle. Everyone's fighting each other. Ace gets saved, and then Ace gets killed by one of the admirals, Akainu. So Ace is dead. Then Blackbeard shows up, and he kills Whitebeard and steals his Devil Fruit abilities. So Blackbeard is now the first person to ever have 2 Devil Fruits. So now Ace is dead, Whitebeard's dead. Everyone's freaking out. And then Kobe, from long ago, is now one of the Marines. He comes up and he's like, "Stop the war." He's about to get killed, but then Shanks, Luffy's old mentor, and one of the other emperors of the sea shows up, and he's like, "All right." He slowly shows up, says, "War's done." Everyone's out, and everyone's just like, "Okay, he's Shanks, but it's fine. Let's get out of here." So Luffy's obviously a little upset. So he's kind of freaking out. We have a little backstory about Ace, Luffy, and their other friend Sabo. There's that whole shenanigans. After Luffy, he barely survived, but he's like, "I don't know what to do anymore." And then Jinbei beats him up, and he's like, "You still have your crew?" And Luffy's like, "Yeah, I do." So Luffy's like, "We gotta get back together." But Rayleigh, Gold Roger's first-hand man, shows up, and he's like, "You're not really ready yet. You got your butt handed to you. You kind of need to practice." So Luffy goes out, gets himself a picture in the newspaper, and sends out a message to his crew that we're not meeting in 3 days. We're meeting in 2 years. 2 years. So get training, guys. Then there was a month hiatus in the manga, and that was tough. If you lived through that like I did, if I were to you, it was not easy. So anyways, 2 years later, all the Straw Hats are stronger. They show back up at the Sabadi Archipelago. Everyone's happy. The crew's back together. The ship is coded. They go down to Fishman Island. We're almost there, guys. So the crew's on the way to Fishman Island. We get there and we find out that there's an evil gang of ne'er-do-wells on Fishman Island, led by Hody Jones. They're trying to take over the island. Hody is honestly just he's not a good villain. He's kind of lame. But the Straw Hats, it's basically just a way for the Straw Hats to show off their new skills that they learn, so they kick all the bad fishermen's patooties. And then Luffy declares that Fishman Island is under his control and not Big Mom's control, which is another one of the 4 Emperors of the Sea. Oh Lord, this is tiring on the throat. So Fishman Island is safe, and the Straw Hats are now friends. Now Luffy is protecting Fishman Island, so they say, "All right, let's get out of here." So they finally go up, and after many, many years, they finally emerge on the second part of the Grand Line, which is called the New World. Whew. All right, and that's the halfway point of One Piece. There's still a lot left to go. We're gonna go through this next part pretty fast. So the Straw Hats are now in the New World, and the second they're up top, they get a message on one of the transponder channels, which is basically a telephone, saying, "I'm stuck on this guy," and he's like, "I'm on Punk Hazard, save me, I'm cold, I'm hot." And the Straw Hats are like, "Well, we kind of have to go see what's going on there." So they go to an island, Punk Hazard, which is an island that's half made of like lava area and half made of cold area. It looks like it's out of a Mario level. You find out later on that the island is actually where 2 admirals, Akainu and Akiji, fought to see who would be the new fleet admiral. Akainu won, so he's the new fleet admiral. That's why there's 2. They use the Devil Fruits. That's why there's two different ozone biospheres. Anyways, they find out that there's an evil scientist named Caesar Clown on the island that's doing experiments on kids. Luffy ain't having that, so he teams up with Law, who at this point is now a warlord of the sea. Teams up with Law to stop this. Smoker, also one of the Navy guys that usually hates Luffy, comes and helps out. So they beat up Caesar Clown, and they go along with Law to go join up with the rest of his crew. They go to, so that's done. We all go to Dressrosa now, which is an island, a kingdom that is ruled by Doflamingo, another warlord of the sea, who's kind of a jerk. Well, and Dressrosa is a kingdom of toys, like half the people there are just living toys. And so Dressrosa, we find out later on, it was actually taken over by Doflamingo in a really sneaky plot. And so Luffy teams up with Law to take down Doflamingo once and for all, save the island, turn the toys back into normal humans, and restore its power to its rightful, king and queens. So Luffy does that. The crew does get separated at this point. Half the crew decide to go off on their own to escape from all the shenanigans. So we lose half the crew at that point, but they'll come back in the actual in-universe time. Not that soon, but God Lord, if you were waiting for them and just weekly by weekly, it's a long time they're gone. So anyways, Luffy and Law beat Doflamingo. Dressrosa saved. They're like, all right, let's finally go join up with these guys. So they go to Zao, the island of minks, which are like animal people, which happens to just be on a giant elephant that's moving along the ocean. Oh, Luffy also teams up with a bunch of pirates and gets his own fleet. So Luffy now has a commanding fleet of a bunch of different really big name pirates. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, so Luffy ends up on Zao. He meets a bunch of minks, joins up with the rest of the crew, except for Sanji, who's gone, lets him a note saying, gotta go, getting married. What? We're almost there, guys. So the crew's like, well, I gotta save Sanji now, but we also need half the crew to go off to Wano, which is the kingdom of samurai. So the Dressrosa crew goes off to Wano, while the other half of the crew goes with Luffy to go save Sanji, who's getting married, because basically the crew's life and the Bratier crew's life is being threatened. We find out that Sanji is actually a Vinsmoke, which is kind of like an evil organization that makes clones and they're bad. And he has brothers and a sister. So we go to, and Sanji's getting married to one of Big Mom's daughters to kind of have a mutually beneficial marriage, like you do. So anyways, we go to Whole Cake Island, which is where Big Mom runs. It's an island of food and dessert and such. And Luffy basically goes there to stop the wedding. Luffy and Sanji fight after some arguments. We fight Big Mom's crew for a little bit. Sanji's like, all right, I'm with you guys again. Let's do this. Let's save my siblings and such. They fight. We crash the wedding. Big Mom's going crazy. She's kind of upset that her cake's destroyed. She goes on a rampage. Sanji makes her a new cake while Luffy fights Katakuri, one of the sweet commanders of Big Mom's army. They fight. Luffy wins. Sanji makes a new cake. Big Mom's happy. Fishmen, pirates come, and they're like, Jinbei, go join the Straw Hats. And he's like, no, I'm going to make him wait another 5 years. I'll join them eventually. And now the Straw Hats are finally getting away. And that is the current entirety of One Piece. That was it. How long was this? 20 minutes? If you watch this entire thing, kudos to you. Oh! So that was the entirety of One Piece by memory. No cuts, no edits, no nothing. I didn't research it. I didn't even read the entire thing before this. That was just by memory. So I'm sure I missed a lot of things and a lot of details. But that was it. So that's my by memory series. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you're new here, how did you hit that subscribe button? And look forward to, if you liked it and you want to see more of this, I'll do more. Obviously, it's got to be on things that I know, otherwise it's kind of stupid. But I'll probably do another one of these or two in the future. I enjoyed this. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I'm going to put up some annotations on the screen. Hit right there if you want to subscribe. And then maybe that's my last video, so you can watch that too if you need something else funny to watch. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate you. And we'll see you again in the next video, okay? Bye.